Love music and love life. This is Smooth 98.1, and you can follow us not just to our hearts, but everywhere. We got you in our hearts, and we hope you can say the same as well. That is a song that should be on your playlist because of how easy on the ears it is. And of course, you can listen to it everywhere and anywhere. That is Heart by Dombarry. And of course, if you listened to Grapevine earlier this week, you would have caught a bit of that. You are officially welcome to Smooth Explorer right here on Smooth 98.1. And if you're new to us, what we do is explore music, different genres. And on days like this, we explore the life. And today we're exploring not just the life, but also the album, Best You Can Give by Dombarry. With that, you can join us on different platforms. There is YouTube, which is youtube.com/smooth91FM Lagos, where you not only get to see my face, but that of my guest, who is a night walker, like I called him earlier, because of the time zone difference. He is currently in the early hours of the morning, yet has found time to be up and active and energetic to chat with us. Then you can also find us on WhatsApp. That is 0809-444-0981, where you can drop your comments. And if you'd like to call, maybe you can try the call line 014489981. Most importantly, we are live on Twitter, where we also release on the playlist, and you can see, interact, like, retweet, comment, share on Twitter. That is at Smooth91FM. That said, if you have never met him, well, here is a little bit about, I guess he's a singer, he's a songwriter. You can call him a recording artist. He's a model. Yep, he is a model, as well as, I believe, a budding actor, or he's a rising actor. And not just that, he's got different interests, which we will be unveiling and uncovering and getting to this morning. I'm referring to the one whose music we just played and the one who made the album Best You Can Give, which we'll try to understand why it's the best you can give. That is Dombarry. Good morning.
Top of the morning to you, Oluwaseun. It feels great to be on your show.
How are you doing?
I'm very well. Like I said, I'm very energetic this morning.
Really? Coffee, black coffee?
Black coffee, you guess right.
So I have a personal beef, a bone to pick with everybody who take black coffee. I feel it's something meant for, serial killers, because why would you want to take black coffee? Life is too sweet for you to have any drink that is black. With lots of cream.
Here in New York, you can't do that coffee because New York is like Lagos. So we're like 24 hours on the clock, like boom, boom, boom. You got to be up on your game.
So the coffee is your fix.
Yes, that's what's up.
Whoa. So what happens when you don't get to take your coffee?
You'll be drowsy. You'll be lazy as, I don't know, you'll be lazy, really lazy.
How have you been in Lagos for a long time?
Of course.
And if you compare the New York life, you already said New York is like Lagos, but if you compare it side by side, tell me some of the differences and maybe the similarities aside the hustling and the bustling.
The difference will be a developed version of Lagos.
Besides that,
I would say New Yorkers are very hostile, like in quotes. Yeah, like you can just walk up to someone on the street and say, I need a direction. They'll look at you like, get out of here.
Tell me, what you miss most about Lagos and Nigeria?
Agberos.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Like all that yelling and
What you said reminds me of something somebody said who was out for a long time and said, I actually miss the insanity that comes with Lagos. And I said,
Of course.
no, is that not why you people actually leave Nigeria? Because of the insanity. So why will you miss the insanity?
Because it's just the way it is. Like, it's something like sort of like it's part of your daily existence as Lagosian. And so when you don't have that on a norm, it becomes like, oh my God, like I really miss that. You know.
Okay, hopefully the kind of music you make actually calms the nerves of the Agbiros when they listen to it.
Yeah. Of course.
Now let's talk about it. First of all, I'm curious. I'm one who is curious about a number of things, including origins. So
Yeah.
your name, Dombarry, what comes to mind
Yeah.
is, when I hear it, is Dominic Toretto from Fast and Furious. How did you get your own Dombarry, your stage name? What's the inspiration?
Yeah, so funny enough, that's my legal name.
You're serious?
Yes, absolutely.
I thought it was your... Okay, now, how often do you get this reaction I just gave you?
Yeah, I'll make you laugh now. In Nigeria, it was so difficult for me to get a passport, international passport, because of that name and because of my looks too. My mother has to constantly come to Nigeria to prove that my son is a Nigerian before I could get a Nigerian passport. It was really crazy. It's a crazy story. You don't want to hear it.
I want every part of it because that's what we do here on Explorer. We explore every part. What state are you from?
Edo State.
Wow. And you
Yeah,
often have to constantly convince people that you're a Nigerian.
absolutely.
Well, I could have said you look like an Egyptian. That's interesting. Okay, so
Yeah,
Dombarry is not just a stage name, it is your full government's name, like we say
yeah,
it.
that's
Well,
correct.
now going back to the kind of music you make, the genre you make, what is
Yeah.
the idea? No, not the idea. Why the choice?
Yeah, because I grew up on pop music. My pops was sort of like he was a crude oil engineer, worked with Santa Fe drilling company in Delta State. So he worked with a lot of Caucasians, Americans. So that's probably the reason why he's sort of like, you know, so used to listening to country, pop, and all of that. And so growing up, those are the records that I would
Hmm.
always hear. Cyndi Lauper, Don Williams, and all of that. Lionel Richie, Billy Ocean. So pop was like what you wake up to see, what you wake up to hear, what you wake up to feel, and all of that. So
At what point did you think you were going to do music full time?
I think when I was in high school, I actually sort of like started to rap when rap became the in thing in the 90s. And so my friends were like, hey, come on, man, you can't say you don't love rap music. And so Bob TV just came to Africa. That was in the early 90s. And so when Bob TV had these programs where they slot in MTV. We didn't have MTV
Hmm.
bass then. So yeah, so rap became a thing. And so but later on down the line, I go, hey man, this rap is not my thing, man. I've got to like, stick to pop.
Okay. All right. Now we have another feel of Dombarry from his album Best You Can Give. And then after that, we come back to some of the things. And of course, put him on the spot. We're not going to tell him what he'll do on the spot. That's why it is on the spot. And when we're done, we will continue the conversation with him. You can listen live via the website www.smooth981fm, or you can stream via YouTube, which is youtube.com/smooth981fm Lagos. I want you to stay with me, not just because you have to listen to us, but because Dombarry actually says, stay with me. Enjoy this one. Okay, so
I was it's wrong with you. I smile, cry.
do you ever get the whole you're not Nigerian enough
It
on
was
the same.
terrible when I was. It was terrible when I was growing up. Like really
Wow.
terrible. My siblings just so. I mean, like we're all light skin, curly hair, and all of that. And so they used to tell us, "Go back to your country. Go back to your country. Go back to your country." It was really terrible when we were growing up.
That's just so sad.
Yeah.
And now being outside Nigeria, where I remember watching something from Trevor when he said the first time he realized that he was Black was when he went to the States. Now, when he was in South Africa, he was more or less white because of his complexion. But when he realized it was Black was when he went to. So now, how do you balance not being Black enough and not being white enough?
It's even worse. When I tell people that I'm Nigerian, they're like, "Get out of here, you're crazy." All the Nigerians that I know, they're dark skin and they have big nose, they have, they begin to give this awful description of Nigerians. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. And so when they see me, the first thing they call me, "Hey, Dominicano," they begin to speak Spanish, and I speak a little bit of Spanish, like just because I was learning at the time. So anybody that says me Dominican, they start speaking Spanish. So to them, I'm Hispanic, trying to, be Nigerian.
And your name is not helping as well. Being
Exactly,
Dombarry, I mean, you're not hearing a native name, and I can't imagine how hard that must be.
Yeah, it's really hard, really, really hard. I mean, I like it. There was a time I was coming back to Nigeria. I was traveling from UAE or UK to Nigeria. I was arrested at the airport for having a Nigerian passport. Yeah.
That's just. Now, of course, when you come to Nigeria, it means extra billing.
Yeah, extra billing, So, what saved me, I could speak my local dialect a little bit.
Oh, that's good.
So my cousin was working at the airport at the time. So my cousin had to speak my language to me, like, "No, come on, man, he's Nigerian." I was like, "Not again," So it's one of those things that I'm used to it.
So you still speak your language well?
No, not anymore.
Because you don't have someone to speak to it.
Yeah, because my siblings too, they live in the UK, they scattered abroad, so none of us we just lost it.
Nigeria has just separated everyone.
Yeah, of course. That's the thing.
When was the last time you were back home?
7 years.
Do you have plans to come back?
No way. I mean, not like no way, but maybe later in the future, yeah.
I mean, just to come and you've got music here.
Yeah, of course, yes, of course, yeah, of course, definitely. When opportunity will beckon me to, come do things in Nigeria. That's why I'm pushing my record also in Nigeria and other parts of the world. So.
Because what if somebody says, "Hey, I like the sound of this guy. I want him at my wedding. I want him to."
This is Michelle.
Of course.
Smoothly.
So he can fly down here.
Of course, I'll do it.
In the salon, opening up my tank for a spontaneous adventure with old friends in a new city. Podcast, cash or card. It's always card for me. I switched from cash to card for all my payments with MasterCard. Now I get to do what I enjoy with ease.
Switch from cash to card for all your payments with MasterCard. MasterCard, a secure and convenient way to pay.
Your evening drive home nice and smooth with your radio as company. The smooth drive home on 98.1 gives you the flavor you crave for. On your radio, lots of quick radio programming, information to keep you up to date, and music for your listening pleasure. All you ever need for that journey home. The smooth drive on Smooth 98.1 every weekday from 4 p.m. Smooth.
No lies about that at all. We are Smooth 98.1, and we got you covered with all the music of grown people, from R&B to the R&B soul to the jazz to the funk to the contemporary, the high life, all those music that you grew up with that reserve and of course preserve good memories, and the ones that also help you to keep your musical integrity and taste bud during those times? You got it on Smooth 98.1. Right now, we are chatting with someone who has made cool, lovely music and exploring every aspect of it. That is Dombarry. You can listen to us via the website www.smooth91.fm. You can also listen to us and watch us on YouTube. That is youtube.com/smooth91 FM Lagos. I played you two songs from the album Best You Can Give. There was Stay With Me and there was Heart. And brings me to the question, why did you title it Best You Can Give? Now, no doubt the songs on the album are beautiful, from beautiful, literally, to Real Love, to 1,000 Years, to Heart, to what's it called now? Stay With Me. Why did you say Best You Can Give?
I've been doing music for a long time, and like I told them on the grapevine, yeah, that I had an album in 2008, but somewhere along the line, I had to, pull it down and go back to the drawing board. Looking back over the years that I've been away from, putting out records, and I said to myself, how best should I express myself now that I've grown musically, vocally, and otherwise? And I said to myself, I'll give it my best. So this is the best that I can give right now. Like, this is the best.
But you're still going to give more, right? You still have plans maybe to drop EPs, albums. So what then will you call it? Because it's like reaching the peak. What will you not call it?
Extraordinary.
That's interesting. Okay. Yeah. All right then. Now, have you ever had any sort of pressure to change the kind of genre that you make, maybe to the typical Afro fusion, Afro pop, the dancehall, the house music, the one you go to club? Because I imagine that if these songs are going to be played, it will not be the typical club setting, unless it is a love club zone, something like that.
That's correct. It's a norm being a Nigerian, and with the fact that Afrobeat has risen to the level it is right now, a lot of people will tell you, hey, come on, man, why don't you just do Afrobeat so you could make money really fast, so you can blow up really fast? I get that pressure all the time, and I'm like, hey, man, I just love to stick to my guns. I want to operate where I have strength, where I have grace, not where I'm going to struggle. I mean, I'm versatile. Don't get me wrong. I'm a gifted songwriter, and that's the reason why when I was recording hard, I sort of like give it an Afrobeat element, just so these guys can just let me be.
Speaking of letting you be, now you are in New York, and people who might have their first contact with music from Africa, in quotes, which I hate to say, by the way, might be the typical burner, Wizkid. Yeah. Have you had to deal with situations where somebody meets you and you tell them you're African, you're Nigerian, you make music, and the first expectation of your music is those kind of music? Have you had to deal with that, and how much of that have you had to deal with?
No, they don't think that way. New Yorkers don't think that way. They expect you to make that type of music. Yeah, they don't think that way. I mean, back in the days, yes, but now, like, music is just so that music has changed in a lot of ways. There are a lot of Latin Americans that make Afrobeat. A lot of them.
Oh yeah.
And even their music that has gone really sort of like global right now is reggaeton. And it's a little bit of reggae mixed with salsa, heavy beats and hip hop. So it doesn't really matter if you're from a particular culture. You can switch, you can borrow. Let me use local palace language. You get what I mean? You can infuse. Yeah, so that's what it is. They expect you to do, like, if you're a rapper in New York and you're from Nigeria, when you tell them you're a rapper, they want to hear you do drill, which is like the main thing right now in New York hip hop.
So if we're going to be having new material from you in the future, or maybe performances or features, and you say you want to explore other genres or borrow, what are the things, the likely ones that we're going to be hearing from Dombarry?
Of course, like the rave right now is Afrobeat. I like to, infuse a little elements of Afrobeat and a little element, from dance hall. Just pick stuff from all around the world and just make it your own.
Do you have a favorite song?
Of all time or from this album?
Okay, let's start with all time and then we'll talk about this album. A favorite song of all time.
Color of Love by Billy Ocean.
Okay.
Yeah, favorite song of all time.
Take Color of Love, Billy Ocean, do it the Dombarry way. It could be any part of the lyrics. It could be the verse, it could be the chorus, any. Do it the Billy Ocean, do it the Dombarry way. Yeah.
What is the color of love? I'm trying to remember. Yeah, this is really on the spot.
Yep, that's the point. Okay, let me be lenient and let's talk about the album. What is your favorite on the album?
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't have a favorite song on the album. For me, this is how I enjoy music as a music fan. It's actually mood.
Okay, what moods were you in when you wrote Stay With Me?
Oh my God, that's a true life story. The beautiful question I'm glad you asked.
Yeah, tell me about it. I'm all ears. See, my ears are standing right now.
You know how you could be in a relationship and you think that, oh my God, like this is not where I want to go, but that's exactly what you need. And you sort of like made a lot of mess out of that relationship. And you're thinking, oh my God, like, why am I being such a fool? Do you understand? So it was a true expression of that scenario. Yeah.
What about 1,000 Years?
1,000
what
years.
inspired
God,
that?
Like, beautiful question. I'm a Christian. I'm a born again Christian. And so 1,000 Years was inspired by the second coming of the Lord Jesus Christ, or the third coming. I don't want to confuse people, but like the rapture of the church. When we return back, which is going to be the third coming of Jesus Christ. So when we return back to earth with Christ and all his angels to rule on the earth for 1,000 years.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Now I'm even more curious about the other ones. What about Beautiful?
Yeah, Beautiful is just a creative work of art. Like I could write just from having a conversation with you. I could get inspired by just having a conversation with you, and I begin to paint words, sentences on the wall. After this interview, I'm going to pull them off the wall and start putting melodies to them. Mm-hmm. So I create in a spot.
Okay, spoken like a true songwriter.
Yeah.
And Real Love was the idea behind it.
I wouldn't say imaginary. I would say I would say Real Love is a true life stuff. Like sometimes you wonder, why do beautiful women end up with, in quotes, men that are not so handsome, or you get what I mean, physically attracted, or a lady from a very prominent family ending up with a pauper, in quote.
Like a princess renouncing her title and royalty to end up with a commoner, in quotes.
Exactly.
Interesting.
So Real Love is it's a collection of you wondering and pondering, why do these things happen this way? Who really gets real love? Is it a fool? Is it the cool? What type of woman? What type of man get real love? Yeah.
It brings to me the verse that says, 4 things I cannot understand. And at the end, the writer, or in Proverbs, that says, the way of a young man with a woman, it cannot be understood. Once you bring in what is called love, in quotes, into it, you can understand the things it makes you do. But now, okay, so last one, Not So Far Away. What happened
Yeah.
with that one?
Oh my goodness. Not So Far Away is a classic. I actually recorded that song over 15 years ago. Yeah. That song
So,
was a lead song on on an album that I released right 2008, like I said earlier.
or the
And
one
so
you
the
pulled
album was
down?
titled Not So Far Away. Yeah. The one that I pulled down. And so when I was
Oh,
gonna put out this album, I like, oh my God, like I need to include Not So Far Away. Like this is the story of me being, a teenager, becoming an adult, and deciding where I want to go with life. So this is my story. Not So Far Away is sort of like my story.
hmm. Tell me, if you look at it in terms of the duration, how long did it take to put all the songs together on the album? How long did it take to make Best You Can Give?
Uh, I'll say 4 months
4 months.
or yeah, I'll say 4 months. I started this project in March, but there was this little delay here and there with my producer because he was so busy. So to get this record mixed, to get a lot of corrections done, and we're going back and forth because we're working virtually, and so it was sort of like really, really hard. The time difference, his schedule, and all of that. And my team of A&R that we work with, Aloysius 18, he's in Nigeria as well, and it's just going back and forth because of the time difference and all of that. So we're supposed to put it out in summer, and summer was almost over, and I just couldn't wait. So I had to make a switch. We decided to just put out the album instead of waiting for other songs that were not completed.
Oh, that should be record time. That should enter the Guinness Book of Record or something. I don't know the record for how fast a person can put together an album, but maybe that should be competing there. So quickly, now, if somebody
Yeah.
says, I am in a good mood and I just want to listen to something feel good, which of the songs will you recommend?
1,000 Years.
Why?
That's what I've been listening to lately. I mean, driving all through New York City, I play that song for hours. It just give me this chill, and this presence of mind and relax. It just makes me want to just cruise instead of just driving.
Why did you feature Kentaj on that?
She's a sweetheart. She's a soul singer, and so I actually recorded that song with my producer Josh Natalia, and that's actually the last song on the album. So that's the original version. That's the original version of the song. So, but when I was going to put out this album, I said, no, I need to make a switch. I need a female who I'm trying to convince that, hey, I'm going to love you this long time, to sing back to me and convince me as well that I'm ready to die with you. I'm ready to live with you. This is for real. I'm not playing. So I wanted that connection. That's the reason why I said, hey, come on, man, let's do it. She's a
Have you made a
sweetheart.
video?
The videos, we are working on a lot of videos right now.
Because I want to see this thing that you just said, explain in the video. I want to see how you're convincing and the whole.
Of course.
Now, if
Of
somebody
course, you're gonna
says,
love it. Yeah.
okay, if somebody says, my heart has just been broken and I need a song to listen to, which of the songs will you recommend?
Should have. It depends. It depends on the situation, right? If you want to live in regret, or if you want to live, okay, let me put it this way: regret and say, okay, I should have done this. I shouldn't have done this. It should have. That song is a true life story, something that happened to me in real life. I kid you not. I was in a relationship. My girlfriend was dating someone else that she claimed to be her brother. True life story. And so she had a crisis, and the brother called me that I know that you're the only friend that she has. That's sort of like you have best friend. Please, I need you to come to my house right now. This is a situation. This was 12 a.m. in Lagos. And when I got there, Cheryl, they were engaged to get married. I was like, what?
I need to adjust in my seat.
Yeah, so that song it's if you just got out of a bad relationship, like if you listen to that song over and over, you get over it. Like you say to yourself, like, if I had known, I should have done this. I should have known all along you were lying. I should have known that this guy wasn't your brother. I should have known this. I should have known that. Like, yeah,
See, leave Shudad. I'm interested in this
yeah.
gist. How did you move on?
It was, ah, I'll say this. I'm a diehard lover. I think it's because of the fact that I'm a Christian, and so I understand the principles of love not being a feeling, but rather commitment. And so, if I want to get out of hurt, I just tell myself I'm no more in love with this person. I'm not going to share commitment or affection with this person no more. And I kill it right there in my mind. That's it.
So you just stop being committed.
Exactly. And so in that way, I won't start to deal with hurt, regret, shame, and you get what I mean. I just move on and just sending that love towards myself, and that's how I heal. Yeah,
You know what? We need to heal a bit. Take a moment to breathe.
yeah,
Let's enjoy 1,000 years. At least that's one is of commitment and undying love. Let's enjoy 1,000 Year from Dombarry. You're listening to Smooth Explorer right here on Smooth 98.1. You have seen Shagil.
yeah.
Wow.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I love it. I love it.
That is something.
Yeah, I mean, true life story. True life. It happened to me 3 times. 3 times.
How do you pick the pieces of your heart to keep doing it all over again?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like I love with my life. And the day if I'm gonna stop loving you, once I decided in my mind, that's it. I don't look back. Like I don't live in regret, sort of like to speak. You get what I mean? Like I guess maybe because of so much knowledge that I have of God's word, you know, I just know how to communicate it in prayer and say, this is not gonna affect me. I begin to release the power of God over my mind, over my soul, and that's it. I'm a very prayerful person. Yeah.
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 Your soul is kept in one piece. So that's a
Yeah, I'm
lot.
telling you, 100%, 100%. And even dealing with relationship with people, like that has really helped me. Like, I love people so much. Like, I can be your friend today, and it would be like we've known each other like forever.
Do these experiences help you to set better boundaries when you get into another relationship or friendship?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I don't like to get hurt. I'm also emotional. I'm very, very emotional. Very, very emotional. I think creative people are. I'm deep. Oh my God, I'm just too emotional. I just love people. Just meeting you for the first time, I'm in love with you already. I want to do stuff for you. I want to help you. I want to do anything just so you can just feel love. Anybody, so I don't know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I guess you're still one of the few people who make music over 2 minutes, who make music over 3 minutes.
Of course.
They have new movie or songs where 2 minutes done.
Yeah, because they living for social media. I don't live like that.
Ah,
Yeah, I want to keep it the traditional way. At least 3 minutes, 3:45 is fine.
that's good.
Even my producer are trying to convince me. I say, hey, I'm not going with you on that, man. You can make your own music like 2 minutes. No, I want to be able to enjoy my own album. I listen to my music as a fan, not as a creator.
And do you ever listen to your song and you're like, "Ooh, damn, I made that."
Especially this 1,000 years. When I listen to it, I oh my God, like being a writer of this song, and oh my God, like it blows my mind. I'm like, damn.
All right, we're back. If you ever get 1,000 years, then you can keep listening to Smooth 98.1, where we love music and we love life. And of course, there is how music just adds color to every time and event and situations. There is a song for almost everything. So we just played you 1,000 Years from Dombarry. That was from the album Best You Can Give. And he's my guest this morning on Smooth Explorer. I did tell you that what we do here is explore different kinds of genres of music. And on days like this, when we have special guests, we explore their music as well as their lives. And we have done that. Getting to know more about Dombarry, the inspiration behind his music, each of them, and the story, which is a lot. I was just telling him on YouTube that he has seen, and good thing that those experiences have not negatively formed him or impacted him. All right, we have almost come to the end of the show, but there is a question that I still need to ask. You are an independent artist, right? You make your own music. You're like a one-man army, although you have your producer.
Yeah, that's correct. I have a team, but I'm considered as an independent artist.
Now, no doubt, the journey would have been difficult in promoting your music and getting your music out there, right?
Of course, putting every resources that I have.
So,
Yeah.
Are you looking to sign to a label later on?
Not at all. Maybe a license, maybe a license deal with Universal, Sony, and all of that, but like not to an independent label.
Why?
It's a ripoff. And with these days of music being easy to put out and control, you don't really need a label. What you need is a team.
Okay. Now, how, because I had a number of questions I was going to ask, but that just settles it. Speaking about success as an artist, because you have all the aspect of your life, but now focusing on the music as an artist, how do you define your success? What are the metrics?
I would say the fans, because the thing about creative art, it should drive towards impact. Once you get a feedback that you're impacting positively into people's lives, that I consider success. Because if you're making music and people be like, it doesn't make sense, like it's nothing to me. I'll say it was a few days ago, there was a fan that sent me an email to tell me that after she listened to Stay With Me on the subway, she was crying and she realized the mess that she made in her previous relationship. She had to call her ex-boyfriend and apologize to him.
Wow.
I was blown away. Like I told you before, how I wrote that song, that's a true life story. Like exactly the same thing that led me to write the song, in the same way she felt about herself when she heard that song. And so she was like, oh my God, I did so damn wrong to that guy. I've got to apologize to him.
How did that make you feel?
That's success. That's what I'm trying to tell you. For me, that's success.
But imagine you're right there, Madison Garden, everybody cheering, Dombarry, Dombarry. Would you also regard that as success? Or maybe also Arena, everybody shut down, their phones whipped out, making a video and waving it like a waving flag. How do you like the sound of that?
I wouldn't say great and not say not so great. When you're creating, for a creative person like myself, when I'm creating stuff, I've already sort of like see the end of it. As you create, you imagine the end result of your creation as an artist. So most of the things that will happen later on, like performing to an audience of 20 to 50,000, it's not going to be a surprise. I want to be surprised because it's what I envisage. But what I'll be grateful for is the little beginnings, the commitment that I put into this. Oh man, I'm so thankful that I didn't give up on this. So that's what gets people emotional. Like myself is going to get me emotional. Like, man, God, thank you, man. You answered my prayers. I thought this wasn't going to come true. Oh my God, like, yeah, this is real. I saw this before. you know. So for me, it's not going to be a surprise, but I'm just going to be grateful and just enjoy that moment, you know.
Now, with that, I would like you to drop a word or two for someone who is trying to blow. An
Okay.
artist who is creative, they're writing the songs, they are going around trying to promote their song and everything, and it's just not looking like it. What would you say to them?
It's going to take time. And sometimes it's going to happen so fast. But originality should be your focus. You got to stay original. I know these days it's easier when people tell you they want you to come belong to a secret chord. That's not the way, man. Like music wasn't made for that. Music, that's not the purpose of music, to be famous. But it brings you fame. But that's not the purpose. The purpose is just to enjoy the craft and comfort people with your craft, lift people with your craft. So that should be the focus. Make people enjoy music for the love of it, for the fun of it, you know, to give them pleasure. And also to be fast to get the fame, and you know, so that's not it. I think that's perversion. So just take one day at a time. You're gonna get there.
Thank you, Dombarry. I
Yeah.
hope somebody
Mhm.
takes those and they apply it. Now, for people to check out more about your music, the ones you've made, and of course, know more about your looks, the Egyptian brother from Nigeria, Edo State. How can they do that?
You can follow me on IG at I am Dombarry, on Facebook, Dombarry Music. And my album is available on all streaming platforms, including Boomplay, Apple Music, Spotify, all streaming platforms.
All right, then that's it. You can see and know more about Dombarry and the beautiful music he has made from the album Best You Can Give. On that note, we have come to the end of the show for today. Thank you for riding with me, and thank you for keeping me company as you kept me company, or I kept you company as well. We'll do this again next week, same time, 7 a.m. till 10 a.m. on Smooth 98.1. But of course, the show never ends on Smooth, because 11 o'clock is the time for the Saturday edition of Total Football. All the football talks with the Total Football crew from 11 till 12, when you start to enjoy all the beautiful Nigerian soul music. And after that, it will be more and more soul music. And when we're done with the soul music, it'll be the late night blues. If you do not know what that is, it's about reggae, the one that comes after the blues, 9 p.m. till 12 a.m. on Smooth 98.1. And next week, Smooth Breakfast resumes from 6 a.m. till 10 a.m. And I will be with you on Strictly Soul from 10 a.m. till 1 p.m. My name is Oluwaseun, and take care of yourself. Don't try to skip the process. Like Dombarry said, don't worry, just keep doing what you are doing. Originality pays, authenticity pays always. And don't try to skip it. It will come when it will come. Here is another one from Dombarry still. It's titled Real Love.